Today we are going to continue with the story of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Yesterday we stopped where his brothers were plotting to throw him in the well. This was due to jealousy they had against him, envy they had against him. So when they plotted together, they said, let's kill Yusuf. But one of them, the older one, said, let's not kill him. Let us take him to a far land and throw him there. And then we will return and he will not find his way back. And this is exactly what they tried to do. They convinced their father to let them go play with Yusuf alayhi salam, a young boy. So they went far, very far in the land. And when they saw a well, and I described to you yesterday what a well is. It's a very deep hole. In certain countries around the world, they don't have running water, they don't have faucets. So they dig in the ground a very deep hole until they reach water. So this is what we call a well. So when they reached this well, some of them pretended they wanted to drink some water. And Yusuf, being young, he also went close to the well, trying to drink some water. And that is when one of the brothers actually jumped on his back to push him in the well. And Yusuf was trying to put up a fight, but he was 1 against 10. They all put their forces together. Some grabbed him by the arms, by the legs, by the throat, and they forced him. They threw him inside the well. Imagine what type of brothers will do this to their own brother out of jealousy, out of envy. So it is mentioned that Yusuf alayhi salam, he was actually in the well for 3 days and 3 nights. Imagine that long. 3 days, 3 nights. You are inside a deep hole. Even if you scream, nobody can hear you. Yusuf alayhi salam, he was terrified. He was afraid. He did not know what was going to come after this. Even though he had a dream, but at this age, he was not able to interpret the dream. He didn't know. He was still a child. So it was on the 3rd night that there were some travelers coming from Sham, going to Egypt. They were passing by. And when they arrived, travelers in the desert, usually when they're traveling and they see a well, that's when they stop to get some water, freshen up, and then continue the journey. So when they saw this well, they say this is an opportunity for us to get some water, drink, fill up our jugs, and we continue our journey to Egypt. And they sent one of them to fetch some water from the well. As he threw the bucket inside, you throw a bucket with a rope and you put it up. As he was pulling it out, he noticed that it was unusually heavy, because if it is just water, one person can pull it out. But as he was pulling out, it was extremely heavy. There was Yusuf holding on the rope. He was in the well for 3 days, 3 nights, but he did not lose hope. He never lost hope. A Muslim will never lose hope. No matter what situation you find yourself in, always know that Allah will help you. Inna Allah ala kulli shayin qadir. Allah is able to do all things. This was the exact same situation as Prophet Yunus alayhi salam, when he was in the belly of the fish. And we are going to tell you the story of Prophet Yunus alayhi salam. So Yusuf, when he saw the rope, he said, this is help from Allah. And he grabbed onto the rope. And this man who was pulling called his colleagues and said, this is too heavy for me. So they came and they were helping him to pull it out. What he noticed at first was a young boy who was very, very handsome, with a bright smile. Yusuf was the most handsome man that Allah ever created. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, beauty in general, if you look at beauty, the whole beauty of human beings that was put on earth, half of it was given to Yusuf. Half of it was given to Yusuf, and the other half was distributed among the people. So he was a very handsome man, almost like Brother Moore. MashaAllah. Very handsome. No, like Brother Mahmoud. MashaAllah. So that was Yusuf alayhi salam. So when they pulled him out, they said, this is a boy. Hada ghulam. We have a young boy. So they saw in this boy not a prophet, but they saw in this boy a treasure. They say, if we sell him, we're going to make a lot of money. Such a handsome boy. If we sell him, we are going to make a lot of money. So they pulled him out. They were very happy. Now they're heading to Egypt. They shackled him, chains and everything. They took him as a slave, as a piece of property. And they intended to go, when they go to the market, they are going to sell Yusuf alayhi salam. Imagine a young boy, probably your age at the time, in the hands of some strangers, chained like that with shackles, and taking him to a land, Egypt, where he had no family, he knew nobody there. What is going to happen to Yusuf alayhi salam? No, we still have 3 minutes. What is going to happen to Yusuf alayhi salam? They took Yusuf to the marketplace and they sold Yusuf. And someone bought Yusuf alayhi salam, it is said, with very few dollars, very few dirhams, very cheap price. That's how Yusuf alayhi salam was sold, very cheap price. And this person who bought Yusuf alayhi salam as a slave, as a servant, decided to take Yusuf in the house of the king. So imagine the test of Yusuf alayhi salam. You were in your father's house. You were one of his favorites. Your father loved you, cherished you, took care of you. And you were taken from there. And from your father's house, you are thrown into a well. The first test, into a well. You are there for 3 days. And after you are rescued, now maybe you are hoping that something good is going to happen. Now you go from a well to now slavery, become a slave. Imagine he was a prince at his father's house. Now he is a slave in a land that is unknown to him. Now Yusuf is in the house of the king. Yusuf is serving the king. Yusuf is serving the family of the king. And tomorrow, inshallah, we will continue the story of Yusuf alayhi salam.